Hello and welcome to episode 423 of AI Brief. I'm Amin.
And I'm Leah.
I was looking at the main updates this morning, and it really feels like we are seeing two completely different strategies for AI adoption playing out. On one side, OpenAI is trying to charm Hollywood with soft power and a listening tour.
And on the other side, you have the corporate giant Accenture basically telling their senior leadership to log in or get out. It is the classic carrot and stick approach to adoption.
Today in this deep dive, we are unpacking both of those things. That new OpenAI diplomat and Accenture's very controversial promotion policy. We're also going to look at a desktop tool that might actually fix the messiest part of your digital life without uploading your data to the cloud, plus a rundown of the top trending AI tools of the day.
So let's jump straight into the carrot. OpenAI has officially hired Charles Porch as their new VP of Global Creative Partnerships.
To the average person, that name might not ring a bell. But if you work in social media or entertainment, the guy is an absolute legend.
He's been a massive fixture at Meta for over 15 years, mostly at Instagram. And what's fascinating here is his background. He isn't an AI researcher. He's an engineer. He was Instagram's celebrity partnership chief.
He handled Beyoncé's surprise album drop on Instagram back in 2013. That was a huge cultural moment.
He is also the guy who onboarded the Pope to Instagram.
That is definitely the level of user he is accustomed to dealing with. And that specific context is so vital to understanding why OpenAI wanted him for this role.
Especially since this new role reports directly to Fidji Simo, the CEO of OpenAI Applications. It strongly signals that OpenAI knows it has a people problem in Hollywood.
Not a tech problem. I mean, we know they closed that $1 billion deal with Disney in December. That opened up Sora to Marvel and Pixar and Star Wars. The tech pipeline is completely there.
The sentiment on the ground is a totally different story. The broader Hollywood sentiment toward AI is frigid right now.
You do have some individual creators using platforms like 11 Labs.
But the industry as a whole is incredibly distrusting. So Porch is coming in to act as a translator between tech and talent. He has a very deep Rolodex, and he actually has trust in the rooms where OpenAI currently has zero.
His strategy right out of the gate is telling. He's planning a listening tour across creative communities this spring.
A listening tour is smart. It admits that there is fear and distrust. You can't just drop Sora into a community and expect them to embrace it. You need someone who speaks their language to walk into the agencies and the studios and actually hear their concerns.
It is really interesting to see a tech company prioritizing soft power that aggressively to shift sentiment. But then we look at the other major update today. Accenture is taking the gloves completely off.
They really are. The consulting giant is reportedly monitoring weekly AI tool usage for its senior employees.
And they're using that usage data as a direct criterion for leadership promotions.
Specifically for associate directors who are aiming for the next step up. Their tool logins are being tracked weekly and flagged as a visible input for leadership reviews.
Tracking logins feels incredibly blunt for a company like Accenture. But I suppose it speaks to the desperation to break through the inertia.
The report highlights that the biggest bottleneck isn't the junior staff at all. It's the senior partners.
There is a massive seniority problem across the entire industry. Junior staff are using AI to do work in 20 minutes that used to take 3 hours.
But the senior partner who's supposed to be reviewing that work doesn't even understand the tool. They don't know if the output is good because they have never logged into the model.
If you are selling AI transformation to Fortune 500 clients, your own leadership team has to be able to open the software. But there's a lot of internal friction here.
Accenture has put over 550,000 of its staff through AI training, but you still have employees internally describing the in-house AI tools as broken slop generators.
Broken slop generators. That is a brutal review from the people actually trying to use the tools daily.
It highlights the gap between executive strategy and ground-level utility. But management is not backing down. CEO Julie Sweet previously mentioned exiting staff who don't reskill. This policy is the operational version of that threat.
It is the ultimate adapt or die mandate. The irony is that senior staff are resisting the tech while it actively consumes entry-level jobs.
The conclusion they have reached is that not learning AI today is the modern equivalent of resisting the internet. You simply won't be able to compete if you don't use it.
Okay, let's actually slow things down for a minute. We've looked at the big corporate strategies. Let's shift to a more measured look at everything else happening in AI today. There are some significant developments outside of those major headlines.
Let's start with a new tool called Interpreter. It is an AI desktop agent designed specifically for managing digital paperwork.
which is something basically everyone has to deal with.
Hmm.
But the defining feature here is that it works entirely offline.
Exactly. It fills forms, it handles Excel pivot tables and formulas, and it even writes Word documents with tracked changes. But it does all of that locally.
So you aren't pasting sensitive financial records or legal documents into a web browser.
The privacy aspect is huge. They have a free tier where you can bring your own API keys or use a ChatGPT login if you want. But they also offer a managed model for $20 a month.
Sticking with practical applications, there is an Austin-based startup called Ownwell. They're using AI to appeal property taxes.
They just secured $50 million in funding, $30 million in equity, and $20 million in debt.
The stats on this are impressive. They have processed over 1 million appeals and saved customers more than $400 million.
Their customer base grew 180%. And the business model is what really makes it work. Customers only pay a fee if the AI actually successfully saves them money on their taxes.
Speaking of funding, OpenAI is reportedly nearing a record funding round of over $100 billion.
The backers for this round include Amazon, SoftBank, NVIDIA, and Microsoft.
And this round is potentially lifting their overall valuation to over $850 billion.
Moving over to consumer platforms, Reddit is currently piloting an AI shopping feature.
It converts community recommendations into buyable carousels. So it takes those threads where people are debating which product to buy and automatically pulls in the prices and retail links.
In the enterprise space, 11 Labs just obtained the first ever insurance policy covering AI voice agents.
This allows businesses to actually ensure the actions of their AI. If a voice agent makes a mistake, there is now an insurance framework to cover that liability.
On the entertainment side of things, AMC Theaters pulled a contest-winning AI-created short film from its preview lineup.
They refused to screen it before its planned 2-week run. It ties right back into that industry resistance we were just talking about.
Finally, for this segment, an industrial startup called Emanate has launched out of stealth.
They are deploying autonomous revenue agents, specifically for the $5 trillion U.S. industrial supply chain.
All right, let's transition to our final segment. We have a rundown of today's trending AI tools that you might want to look at.
First up is Gemini 3.1 Pro. This is Google's flagship model, and it features state-of-the-art reasoning games. It is excellent for handling complex logic.
Google also has a tool called Pomelli. It converts basic product shots directly into full marketing assets for campaigns.
Then there is Claude Sonnet 4.6 from Anthropic. This is their mid-tier model. It essentially rivals their top-tier Opus model in capability, but it does it at 1/5 of the cost.
For data analysis, there is a tool called TalkBI. It allows you to literally talk to your data to extract insights without needing to know complex query languages.
GPT For Work is another great one. It is an AI integration specifically for Sheets and Excel to automate repetitive spreadsheet tasks.
If you need to refine generated text, SideKicker is designed to humanize AI-generated content. It improves clarity, builds trust, and helps match a specific tone.
And finally, we have Findable. It monitors your competitors and helps turn your content traffic directly into sales.
That covers the major tools for today. We have gone through a lot of ground in this deep dive.
Looking back at the Accenture mandate and OpenAI's Hollywood tour, I keep thinking about how the baseline expectation for workers is changing.
Not learning AI is becoming a massive professional liability.
Exactly. The definition of a highly skilled worker used to mean having all the answers memorized. Now, it seems like being highly skilled just means knowing how to efficiently orchestrate a machine to find the answers for you. If you refuse to use the tools, you can't even play the game anymore. Just something for you to mull over as you navigate your own workflow this week.
That wraps up our deep dive. Please follow the show and share it with your colleagues if you found this breakdown helpful.
See you in the next episode.